Well, we're joined live from Bangalore by R Yavagal. He's the Karnataka MLA who you just heard in that report. He led that, junket to New Zealand, Fiji and Australia. He's also the chairman of the Legislature Committee on Backward Classes and Minorities Welfare Committee. He sees nothing wrong in this particular trip. Also, Harish Bijur, thanks Harish for joining us. He's a brand advisor and a political analyst, joining us also live from Bangalore. Mr. Yavagal, for the benefit of our viewers, and I'm sure you've heard this a lot today, I want to just read out verbatim, and also for Harish's benefit, a small paragraph that stands out in this report that you filed. It says, "We saw the making of cherry juice and dry fruits marketing. We even saw the way they packed fruits. We went on a train. We went on a helicopter. We saw sheep and cows grazing in open lands. This is something our government must focus upon. We visited a reservoir and were very happy." Mr. Yavagal, are you expecting people of Karnataka and people of India to believe that you need taxpayers' money to look at a cow on a farm?
Oh, can I speak?
Please.
I don't know, I can. Yes. Is it very strange for you to, if you go outside and travel long, and if you were to a new country where this is widely the profession, the main profession of that country, main occupation of that country, and we are also very much interested in such activities because our country is also dependent on all these
cows on farms, sir.
And there, yes, what is wrong in that?
Why don't you use your own money to go on these trips then? Why are you using public money? That's the question that a lot of people are asking. If you want to see cows on farms and if you want to take a train ride, why don't you use your own money instead of taking taxpayers' money?
Please listen. This is not something we have done on our own. This is a committee trip, committee tour allowed by the government. We have gone and seen in group. The committee is, it's not.
So there is a collective responsibility then.
First time that we. Collective, yes, we are all collectively responsible.
Sir, I am asking you a very specific question. Pay-per-use toilet, a cashless system. How are these things new? I mean, these are things that have existed outside India for ages. People have travelled outside India for ages. These are not new things that, need to be paid for by taxpayers' money, Mr. Yavagal.
I hope you know Canada well. I'm just trying to tell you, toilets, you are making only culling out which is against, something to create a bad opinion in this one. Is this not the toilet construction is a national program now? Why you are making such a hue and cry?
Why do you need to go to Australia for that, sir?
We having seen, yes, on the way to this one, we saw one toilet come, other things, and there was shopping complex, everything.
Okay, I want to bring in Harish Bijur.
And we are gone.
Harish, what do you make of this? I mean, do you buy any of this stuff? I mean, Mr. Yavagal says we've selectively looked at it. We have looked at every single page of that 26-page report, and I can tell you very frankly that there is not a single item of interest in that is not something that is already either available in India or something that the Indian establishment is aware of. Why does the taxpayer in Karnataka need to pay for a luxury junket for these people going there and taking train rides and helicopter rides, Harish?
But I ask you why.
Personally, I've said this before, and I'm saying it again.
I ask you,
okay,
why so many delegation? Yes, so many delegation go to study so many things outside. Trade delegation they go.
Okay.
Two wrongs don't make a right, sir. Two wrongs don't make a right. We can look at all those delegations separately. We are not saying that your delegation is wrong and all other delegations are right.
This is also the form. In a sense, it is a delegation.
It is ridiculous.
Karnataka state.
The items on your agenda, sir. Okay. I've looked at the 26 pages, all 26 pages. There is not a single item. I want to bring in Harish, then I'll come back to you, Mr. Yavagal. Harish, go ahead.
Yeah. See, first of all, I've made my point clear even when this early controversy broke up that I personally and a whole plethora of people who come from common life tend to think junkets are not on.
Yes.
Because the taxpayers' money is a valuable piece of money. And you know, reports such as these can be generated rather easily, because today we have a search engine called Google.
Yes.
And you know, if you actually do a Google search, you can write possibly nice reports about what's happening in different countries. But you know, that apart, first of all, I don't think these tours must be called study tours at all.
Yes.
They must be called, you know, political immersion tours or political reward tours, or you know, an MLA reward tours.
Yes.
Why not? Because let's expose our MLAs to the best outside, but please, for heaven's sake, don't call it a study tour. This is not a study tour. The second thing I object to is that we cannot keep quoting precedents saying that, you know, everybody goes on a precedent, on a study tour. Why mustn't we in Karnataka also go on a study tour? I don't think these are necessities at this point of time, and I really believe we have Mr. Siddaramaiah, who is a very, very far-thinking Chief Minister in our state, and I would really appeal to Mr. Siddaramaiah to say that, you know, let's ask all these MLAs to actually say that, you know, hey, listen, let's actually contribute for this tour, rather than, you know, say that it's an official study tour, because the study portion of it seems to be missing.
Mr. Yavagal, you know, you have a fairly grand title. You are chairman of the Legislature Committee on Backward Classes and Minority Welfare Committee, which sounds, which sounds like a very noble position that you hold. Yet you think nothing absolutely, sir, of spending, money contributed from taxes from people from the backward classes as well in Karnataka and the minority communities, to go on these junkets, which, as Harish just pointed out, you don't even need to step out of India for. You can learn about these things sitting in your own home. You don't need to spend lakhs and crores of rupees to take a flight out to exotic locations to learn these very basic things, sir.
But Mr. Siva Arur, I just ask you, we are not from the elite class like you. I live apartment.
Sir, you are an MLA. Please don't play that card, sir. You are an MLA.
Please
you have certain amenities. You are provided with a computer.
Allow me to talk.
You have access to facilities, sir. Please don't throw that at us.
They are all from rural background.
Please don't throw that elite thing at us, sir.
To such things.
You have a support staff. You have a research team.
You scrap this one. Why MLAs are required? Then, in your opinion, everything is waste. Why MLAs are required?
Sir, we are not saying anything about study tours. But as Harish Bijur just pointed out, these are hardly study tours, sir. If you have 10 study tours, you can't justify all of them by saying that everybody goes on study tours.
This is all, it's not a allegation on, but it's, you pick up something which is against us, and when you say this kindergarten, or are we supposed to do some research?
I want to ask you a specific question then, sir.
Well read and well prepared.
I take your point.
And well, this one.
I take your point.
No, but please listen.
Let me ask you a specific question, Mr. Yavagal. You are a senior politician.
Yes,
you are a man of the soil. You work among the backward classes. Are you not worried about, worried about, the beating that your image is taking? Because there are people watching shows like these. They are asking you questions. They are looking at how these trips have actually, there's an austerity drive in Karnataka. Yet you are completely fine saying everybody goes on these junkets and therefore I should also go.
Mr. Arur, no, it's a totally, you are making a something which is not, we have not done. The cost of them may be around say 1 crore or rupees something. We have hardly got 10 people.
1 crore rupees, you're saying it's hardly anything.
Were about, and three, yes, I do quote. Our size of the Karnataka budget is 1,38,000 crores, and we are open for this one globalization and all. You all go and you study, you follow, you tie up with international brands and all.
I think
you can do everything, and MLA should demand their constituency.
I think this is amazing.
What side of hypocritic this one is?
Harish,
you allow us to learn,
1 crore rupees is hardly anything. 10 MLAs, 1 crore rupees, no big deal. We got a discounted fare. 1 crore rupees.
Pardon?
Harish.
Yeah, if I really look at, the money spent on the exercise, there are two bits. One is the money spent on the exercise, and the second is, a subterfuge tour, which actually, goes under the guise of a study tour.
Yes.
I think cultural immersions are perfectly okay. If an MLA feels that he needs to be culturally immersed in the culture of Australia, Fiji, New Zealand, and maybe even in New York, let's say, let there be cultural immersions. But tell the people that it's a cultural immersion. We want to know it's a cultural immersion, it's a political immersion, it is an understanding of a culture we don't understand at all. But you know, again, if one goes on these kind of trips, it's well worth to take, possibly, you know, add a little bit more money and carry a bureaucrat along with you who will at least write a lovely report at the end of it, get it ghost written, but at least present it and say that, you know, at least this is what we saw and this is what we need to do in our country. The second point I want to make is an outcome of a study report is important. What happens after this is important. Now, our group of MLAs, secular from every party, went out, saw all this and came back. What is going to happen? How are things going to change? That is something the common citizenry, I'm sure, wants to know.
Mr. Yavagal, you know, several people are actually commending you, you know, taking off from a point that Harish just made. Several people are actually commending you today that this very innocent report that you have filed has actually exposed what happens on these trips. You know, you enjoy cherry picking, you visit a reservoir, you're very happy, you take a ride on a train.
What wrong?
No.
What wrong is there?
What
wrong is there? Just ask you
what relevance does that have, sir? What relevance does that have?
Can you name three things? You know, all the 20...
Mr. Yavagal, can you name 3 things?
Tie up with only
can you name 3 things that you learnt on this visit that knowledge of which does not exist in India already?
I learned
3 things.
Yes,
just name me 3 things that don't exist in India in terms of the knowledge or know-how, sir.
No, we do not bother about, you know, how, you know,
3 things.
There are in-depth we could not do. In depth we could not study this but
so what is the point of the trip then? You're admitting that you couldn't do anything in depth. Mr. Yavagal, direct question. Just name me 3 things.
How can you do within 15 days? How can you do?
Sir, just name me 3 things.
How can you expect to do?
You've just admitted here on Newsnight that you've 1 crore rupees was spent. I am requesting you, with respect, sir, just name me 3 things that you and your fellow MLAs learnt in Australia, New Zealand and Fiji. Just 3 things that you learnt there, which the knowledge of which does not exist in India.
We learned that, yes, and no, does not mean that you are putting it in a wrong way. We did not, we should not, need not go and learn something new. Even if you learn something akin to our practices and occupation, which is in a higher order, better than us, that can also be sufficient. We need not go and find out something new.
Name me 3 things, sir. Just name me 3 things. I'm requesting you to name 3 things.
Mr. Arulji, the main thing what we learned about the cleanliness, about the discipline, about the infrastructure,
Harish,
high order infrastructure.
Harish, cleanliness was the...
Thirdly, about the dairy, I mean cows rearing and sheep rearing and plantation crop. These are all things.
This is astonishing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Yavagal. This is sounding almost. This is sounding like a comedy now. It would be funny if it wasn't so serious.
I don't think. You're a senior. Elite people always make comedy of people from the rural area.
1 crore rupees to go and realize that foreign lands are cleaner than India.
They should only remain in this one. Do you expect us to write a Bible like you people, big essays like you?
I am astonished.
Harish, I defend it. We should be allowed to go. I mean, even in the future, this should be explained.
You're saying, you've basically just said, Mr. Yavagal, you've basically just said today on Headlines Today, and Harish, I want you to respond to this. He's basically said that A, 1 crore rupees is not such a big deal. B, we may not go there to learn new things, but to better our understanding of things that already exist. And C, that, when I challenged him to name 3 things that he learnt about, he said cleanliness and the way cows are reared there. Harish, cleanliness.
What wrong is there? What wrong is there? You feel that you are all ashamed of seeing cows and sheep and all? Are you not happy with this?
I am speechless. Harish, I want you to answer, then I'll go back to
I do believe these are basics that are being reported. And if you really look at it, I think we should be kind and dub this entire, junket as an MLA education tour or an MLA enrichment tour in terms of an MLA's knowledge getting enriched. So possibly we need to look at it in that way.
Mr. Yavagal, 1 second, let Harish make his point.
Today is not the day and age when we can afford to splurge any kind of government money on a junket.
I don't
Mr.
agree.
Mr. Yavagal, okay, let me, I'm almost out of time.
Plan it in future and go expose, detailed planning should be there. For that I agree.
Mr. Yavagal, I have a couple, we're almost out of time.
And in a systematic way.
We are almost out of time. I have just a couple of more questions for you, Mr. Yavagal. Can you tell me, can you name me two things, two benefits of your trip for Karnataka? Two benefits of your trip for Karnataka. And I'm talking about concrete benefits. How has Karnataka benefited in two ways from your trip?
No, yes. One benefit I still insist. Please allow me to tell.
Yes.
The way how they know something said about the toilets and all. You were telling, they were telling, we are now in the country, this has become a main program, that can be a good example. How they have constructed, how clean they are, and how they can be done.
But that knowledge is already, that is there. Why do you need to go to Australia for that? Okay, name point number two.
You have?
Point number two, sir. Point number two.
What knowledge?
What is the second benefit?
All the knowledge about it?
Second benefit. Please tell us the second benefit.
That is one thing I still feel.
Technology exists.
I still feel that's a good thing. That's a good thing that we have learned.
Technology exists is a question of implementation and huge population of this country that are the problems. It's not a question of know-how and technology. Yes. Give me your second benefit for Karnataka. Almost out of time. What is the second benefit for Karnataka, sir? Apart from toilets.
I know. I can speak better in Kannada, but it's not.
You're speaking very well, sir. Please.
Really allowed. I know. And please listen to me. National toilet, construction of toilet is a national program. You say the central government and state governments together trying to...
I don't want to repeat myself, Mr. Yavagal, but the problem in India is not with technology or know-how or knowledge or wisdom. It is with implementation, it is with corruption, it is with the scale of our population, unlike those countries that you've just, visited. But please name, apart from the toilet campaign, can you name me one more actionable, benefit that your trip will have for the people of Karnataka who are watching this show, sir?
I feel something learning about I'm trying to tell you very sincerely, we are used to have these dairies set up in a small group, limited number, all these cows and everything. It can be emulated, it can be example can be taken from them and can be developed in that way. Already there, it's there. But somehow, of late, the importance has not been given. Still, it can be followed. The second one, our people are used to that. This one, even sheep rearing is really a good occupation.
There is just disbelief. There is just disbelief.
Learning something.
There is just disbelief with just how simplistic you are making this sound. You've made some very candid, confessions on the show today. You've said that 1 crore is hardly nothing. You've said that we may not have learnt anything new. We've just learnt about some things which are being done in a better way. You've tried to play the card about, being from a poor background and that you needed, needed exposure of this kind. The people of Karnataka will be asking, if you want exposure, why don't you, use your own money if it's, all about exposure. But I'm almost out of time. I want to leave the last word to Harish Bijur. Harish, what do you think?
Why repeatedly this question? I just ask you.
Given the austerity move,
say the following thing.
Harish, given the austerity
junkets must stop altogether.
Last word.
We must make junkets as a part of the perquisite of an MLA.
Yes.
So let it be clearly stated that travel is a part of the perquisite of an MLA in a 5-year term. Nobody will object to it at any given point of time.
Yes.
But for heaven's sake, let's not call it a study tour, a subterfuge study tour.
All right, it's all about the nomenclature, but what about the contents? What about the blowback? What about the perceptions of senior politicians like you, R Yavagal? We're completely out of time, sir. We will continue this debate. Definitely, you can be sure that this is a story that we're going to continue to report from both in Karnataka as well as the rest of the country. Remember, it's not just your MLA delegation that's gone. There are several, and we'll be reporting about all of them. Not a single one of them justifies the other. R Yavagal, Harish Bijur, thanks very much for joining us on this debate on Newsnight tonight. Quick break here on Newsnight. Coming up next, it's Center Stage with Rahul Kamal.